What's going on, guys? I am Toxic Jordan. Welcome back to the channel. So today we are going to be jumping into Stage 1 of the Ultimate Red Zone Vegeta's Story Edition here. So it'll be all of Vegeta's fights through the Saiyan Saga, which is obviously just going to be a two-phase fight here against Goku and then Kaioken Goku. Yeah, up on the side, on my second monitor here, I have like all the stats for the new bosses looked up right here. Obviously, they're not fully complete. The event, at the time I'm recording this, actually released like 5 minutes ago. So we don't have all the full stats yet, but I'm looking at some of like the conditions and things that these enemies can do. So hopefully we aren't too caught off guard by what's going on. I also did just want to know like how many phases each of these fights were going to be. So, okay, let's take a look here. Obviously, we've got the Glorio team with all of the, most recent buffs and stuff. So we should be perfectly fine here. I can't imagine on stage 1 of this we're going to struggle too hard with this team that's this strong. Okay, we got both Glorios coming up next, and then Daimagoku floated. Okay, yeah, this will work. Let's just go ahead and quickly select through and see if we have any issues with this Goku. Okay, sweet. So far, we haven't taken damage, so obviously we don't know. Most of this team is like a dodging, so it is going to be probably a little while before we get a solid scope of like how much damage this guy is actually doing. Looks like he has a decent HP pool, though. Obviously, our attack stats are fairly low. We haven't built up or anything yet. But yeah, it does look like he's got a decent amount of HP. Boo is going to be a much better example of like what kind of damage we're looking at. Obviously, Boo is going to be building up massively. We've got to get 4 super attacks to have Boo at his max buffs here, so that is 2 of the 4 that we need. Okay, that's just a normal attack, and then moving on. All right, so we'll have to build up the other half of his passive next turn. That's totally fine. Oh, yeah, and then it looks like both phases of this are going to be physical as well. So that's kind of weird that they would just allow it. I mean, technically, you could just go in here with a full STR setup then, right? Because you're not going to have to worry about like type disadvantage or anything. Kind of treat it like an Ultimate Clash thingy here. Okay, I think we probably put Gohan in the first slot here. Just so we don't have to worry about Glorio potentially not dodging or whatever before he can build up defense. The only thing that sucks about it is that it means the slot 3 Glorio just doesn't get any links. Okay, perfect. So we're going to get hit by a super here. Granted, it's with Beast Gohan, but it's pre-super. We take a little bit of damage. Okay, so this guy isn't doing nothing, right? If Beast Gohan was able to not double-digit tank it, then that means that there was something to be seen. But also that was before we supered. Obviously, if it was post-super, that would have been double digits. And then we had only taken 1 hit to build up before that. But yeah, overall, so far, this first fight not looking too difficult. Okay, now we just wait through the onslaught of Glorio attacks. It's actually so funny. I have, in my last couple of weeks of editing videos, so something that I commonly do, especially when it's very easy for me to edit, when I just do like game theory videos and things where we're just scrolling the wiki or I'm showing off something or whatever. Those videos are very easy for me to edit because usually I just talk straight through. And if there's ever a time where like I forgot to bring up a page or something like that, then I just stay silent in my recording. And I keep my recording going, and then I'll just cut that section out later. So I'll just make sure that my microphone isn't picking up any noise. That way, later on when I'm going and editing my video, all I have to do is turn on the waveforms for my voice, and then I can look at the parts where I'm not speaking for a long period of time, and then I can just go there and be like, ah, yes, this thing I needed to edit out, and then I'll just pull it out of the video really quick. So it makes it super easy for me to edit. But over the last couple of weeks, using Glorio in all of my gameplay footage, because that's another thing that's like really makes it more tough with the gameplay footage, because a lot of the times I like to show off like the active skills and stuff like that. So I'm doing a lot more with audio and things like that too. But yeah, as far as indicating when those spaces are going to be that I need to edit, I always put dead space of time. And even if I say something improper that I want to cut out of the video and I want to re-say it and like word it a different way or something, then I'll just, again, stop speaking for a moment, put a little bit of gap in my, in my speaking so I can see it visually on there, and then I know exactly where to go to edit. Well, the problem I've been running into is that when I run Glorio on all these teams, Glorio super attacks so much that oftentimes, like, the battle isn't progressing while he's going, because he's just sitting there taking his time depleting the enemy's health pool, so I don't really have much to talk about as far as looking at rotations, looking at who's doing what, commenting on whether the unit's gonna take attacks or whether they're dodging, whatever, when Glorio's just sitting there doing a million super attacks in a row. So now I have a lot of times where I'm going to edit videos, and I go to click the sections where I haven't spoken in a while, and I realize it's just an onslaught of Glorio supers back to back to back. And I'm like, okay, I guess it's just me watching Glorio take care of business. I passed the mic on to him, and I have nothing to say about the battle because Glorio's doing it all. But yeah, so that's just a funny thing that I've noticed over time using Glorio more and more. Okay, so I figured it makes the most sense to rotate off Daimagoku for a couple of reasons, right? One, because we have a really strong rotation set up with the Buu and the Buu in Janemba, and then also because there was no attacks in slot 3. So if we were going to risk not using him as our slot 1, then it makes sense to just throw him off. As he is also, he is also type disadvantage for the entire fight, so he's not going to be helping us out too much here. Okay, we're still on the first phase here, so we'll probably save active skills until a little bit later. And actually, with what I was... Oh, that was a blunder. But that's okay, because I do kind of want to test the strength of the fight. So we'll see if he does... I mean, we might just straight up dodge that attack in slot 1, but if we don't dodge it, then we'll get an idea, like, the strength of this fight and how it's actually looking. Before I do that, though, let me turn on my sound, my game sound, just so I have... I always forget to do this when I start recording gameplay footage. And then we'll do the animation skips off. Okay, and then... Okay, cool. Now Dokkan's sound is live, so I don't just have to use, like, the YouTube background music. Perfect. Okay, even with guard active, he still took like 150k. Yeah, so this event isn't insane, right? If this event was like crazy, then that would have been like 500k right there. So, but also again, it is just phase 1. So he might ramp up a little bit on the next phase. And I don't actually know, because on the wiki here, what I'm looking at, none of the stats are filled in. It's just all of the effects he has, but none of his actual stats are filled in yet, so... That is all a big gamble here. Okay, perfect. And now on to phase 2. Okay, we finally have our rotations fully set, because we've got our Glorios in their slot 3 positions where they belong. Okay, Buu's got a million defense. Maybe we just put Buu in slot 1 now. A million defense and type advantage. He's definitely not going to be taking anything, right? Oh, and then I guess now I might as well use the Glorio active, right? And just attack break one of those attacks on the first slot? Sure. Actually, wait. The Buu rotation is the better rotation. So just... I'm actually going to save it and use the Glorio actives on the opposite rotation, where I don't think we have as good of a slot 1. Yeah. I think that's a better idea. So we'll save it for now. We'll save it. Alright, and then let's see what kind of damage we're doing this turn. I imagine Buu's going to have a very good turn. Starting out with 24 million here. Oh, yeah. We're going to have a very nice turn indeed. Hopefully we can get a couple crits in here. Make things go a bit quicker. 26 mil. If he crits on that, that's like 2 bars of his health. I do want to see us get 1 crit at least. There we go. Yeah, it was... Well, okay, it was like 1 whole bar. 1 whole bar of health. Nice. Yeah, Buu is kind of absolutely carrying. But let's not forget that the Glorio support is also helping Buu as well, right? So, that is kind of huge. All right, we've got some good build up on Janemba now too. Everybody's got the really good attack stats, and then obviously once we get the Glorio support rolling, it just never stops. So everybody looks better for the rest of battle. Okay, and then we see what kind of turn Glorio can have. I don't think either of my Glorios are fully built up yet, because remember, they do have, like, the stacking attack and defense 50% every single time they do the super attack, which resets every turn, but then they also have a bit of stacking that stays, and I think that I haven't fully built up their passive as far as, like, the portions that stay. Actually, now that we're on Dokkan 2, and it's really easy to quickly open up a passive and see what's going on, we might as well do that. A lot of these, more recent characters, I haven't even fully bothered learning exactly how their kits run, just because the passives have been so long. Like, I just generally get the idea of the essence of a unit, right? That it's like, okay, Glorio is a slot 3 supporting unit that builds up a lot of attacks, and he's going to try and dodge a lot. Okay, great. So then to put him in slot 3, to give him a full dodge build, and aside from that, you don't really even need to read the card. You just kind of use him, right? But yeah, so I think we're now past that meta to where we can actually more reasonably, like, open up cards and read them and see what's going on and stuff, right? So we should be looking for some kind of... Okay, no. So it looks like the only build-up he's getting is when attacking, and then... yeah, within the turn these. Okay. So then he doesn't actually have any build-up that he has to do independently of the within the turn build-up that he does here. Okay. Neat. All right. So now we have Daimagoku, who we could keep as our slot 1. I think it would probably make more sense to just use Beast as our slot 1, though, considering what we've got going on with the event. And then we might as well use Beast active here as well. Alright, Beast Gohan ready to go there. We'll put him in the second slot so we can get a couple of attacks in first. Or so that he can get attacked a couple of times first before having to, launch his super. It's kind of a bummer that there's not, like, more attacks in the first slot. I feel like that happens all too often. Whenever I'm attempting to use Beast Gohan's active, ideally, on his active turn, you want him to get hit by a bunch of attacks and then have him in slot 2 or 3 after all those attacks have been launched. That way he can do a much stronger attack. This time around, I don't want to float him off, so that's why I just opted to put him in front of all these attacks in slot 2. But obviously, he would hit a lot harder if we put him in slot 3 and he got hit by all of those attacks first. I don't think it's going to make too much of a difference here. I think we'll be okay. I think I would have rather just had him around for the next turn back. Okay, so we're up to 16 million. Not terrible. That could have easily been like a 24 million attack stat, though. Alright, well, so far we're seeing, like, basically no problems with this first fight, which, again, I'm not too surprised about. Being the first stage of a red zone, a new red zone is usually not too difficult to get through. Man, those cut-ins are so weird. I think that's a super odd thing that a very odd choice that they've decided to do. Now, when you're going to be transitioning into doing an additional attack, or transitioning in and out of doing evasion, or if the enemy that's attacking you has guaranteed hits, all of these things are going to cause a little cut-in on the screen where they show you that first, and then the thing happens, and it's really redundant, because now, every time you're going to dodge an attack, it will first show the evasion proc, and then it will show the enemy attacking you, and you evading. And it's like you didn't need to see... When you see the evasion happen, you know it procced. It's weird that they set it up that way. Maybe they're doing that as a baseline to be, like, in preparation for something else that's going to happen. I don't know. We've got Janemba's Rage Mode. Okay, I don't think I've ever seen this animation on the channel. Let's go ahead and do this. Okay, beautiful. That attack's gonna hit hard, right? Because he's got something going on in his passive. Yeah, 16% per key sphere obtained. That's not bad. So we're going to want to try and get as many key spheres with each of them as we can here. Obviously, it was going to run out. But yeah, that first attack is going to be hitting mighty hard. Oh, I guess it's possible, like, we get stunned or something still, right? We can't take damage, but we can still be status affected. Let's see how much this does. Okay, 5 million. He did 5 million. This is obviously with no defense or anything. This is, like, completely base. I wonder how accurately that reflects to, like, his actual damage output number. I'm not sure. Because it was type neutral as well, so there was no, like, multipliers with type advantage or disadvantage. And I don't think we, like, in the rage mode, we don't have any of the normal stuff he would have active, like his defense and his guard or whatever. So yeah, I'm pretty sure that 5 million is accurate. And, like, these 1 millions, that's pretty accurate for the normals that he's doing. Huh. Quite interesting, I suppose. Okay, no more Janemba Rage mode. Now we'll finish this thing off. This is probably going to be the very last turn here. Oh, yeah, let's go ahead and do the Glorio active, and we'll get rid of that first attack up front. Oh, wait, let's put him in the middle. Alright, got that attack break off, and then I'm just going to put Boo up front because I think he's got the highest chance to finish this guy off, just so we can get through this as quickly as we can. Alright, attack break into Boo. What's our attack stat looking like? Starting out with 26 mil, very nice. So yeah, I think, what, like 2 crits and he should be finished? Yeah, we would only need the 1 crit. Oh, did we not? We didn't even... Oh, we did the 1 additional normal. It's those cut-ins, man. They annoy me so much. It, like, showed us we were doing an additional, but it showed the same cut-in as what you would previously see if you dodged the first enemy's attack. So I thought that Kid Buu was done attacking, and then he still did another normal after that. It's weird. Very weird. New things to get used to. Dokkan 2. But there we go. That, it's pretty painless. The first stage down. Obviously, Vegeta doesn't do too much fighting during the Saiyan Saga. I think it's going to get a little bit more spicy once we, head up through the, you know, different sagas here. Actually, the Cell Saga is going to be mostly against, like, androids and stuff. He doesn't really fight Cell. It's, like, all the androids ahead of time. So yeah, it is actually going to be very different fights than what we were seeing in the Goku one, so that'll be very interesting. But there we go. That is stage 1 cleared. Got the mission done. Got some tickets. We're going to be holding on to all these tickets until later in the anniversary when the events are fully done, and then I'll do a summon video, and we'll blow all the tickets later. All right. Well, that is going to do it for this one. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will catch you guys next time. Peace.